Krishna is the first avatar who has given such an exclusive discourse on the workings of the Prakriti, the Atma, the Paramatma, and all that it takes for one to discriminate between the three and ultimately transcend the gunas and realize the truth that one is not different from that same Paramatma, Purushottama, who is also present as Kshara Purusha in the Prakriti and Akshara Purusha as the Jivatma. This is the essence of the previous chapter, Purushottama Yoga. Before that, we had also studied Prakriti aspect and Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. And prior to that, we had studied Kshetrajna Yoga, Vibhaga Yoga. So Arjuna, being a curious but sincere sadhaka, he came as a warrior to the battlefield, but he has turned into the disciple. In fact, the foremost disciple of Krishna. And we have to be thankful to Arjuna because if of him that we are able to enjoy this nectar of Bhagavad Gita. Though cow gives milk only for the calf, we think so. But at the same time, we all get to drink all the milk. Poor calf gets very little, unfortunately. But here, Arjuna is having his fill of Bhagavad Gita, Dugdham, and we are also being served. And how is this Upanishadic cow? It is Kamadhenu. As much you milk the cow, that much milk you are getting. It's unending, it's inexhaustible. The knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which was valid and true thousands of years ago, while the battle was going on, even today, the same knowledge is equally applicable and relevant. In fact, the most practical text is Bhagavad Gita, which helps us to lead our lives in a better way. So now we have learnt a lot of concepts. The concept that the same Paramatma, in unmanifest form, is the ultimate supreme Purushottama. In the manifest form becomes the Prakriti and also enters the Prakriti as an Amsha. Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke. In all the beings I am present as an Amsha, as a small part, and of my divine glory is present in all. Now that's so encouraging because as Indians who believe in Sanatana Dharma and who trust the words of Lord Sri Krishna, we are very encouraged to believe that we also are divine despite all our shortcomings, all our negativities, all the habits and attitudes that we have which are not so divine. Despite that, our scriptures go on telling us that you are divine and none other than divine. In fact, all of you, whole of you, everything of you is divine. And all that you do, which does not look divine, is also powered by the divine force only, energy only. So this is the beauty of our scriptures. They never call us sinners. They only say you might have some shortcomings, you might have some negative things, but there is a possibility for you to purify yourself and realize the truth of your divinity. That is the encouragement our scriptures give. So we are going to study now as we move from Purushottama Yoga, we have to also realize how to transcend the Prakriti and the Guna and realize the Purushottama in us. And what is that in us which does not make us realize that God? We generally are aware now, in our ashram at least, we all are aware that we are divinity only. And sometimes most of us think that we are divine, but it's very difficult to believe that our neighbor or next fellow also is divine. We find somehow that's unbelievable. But our scriptures, our Purushottama Yoga told, no, everybody is divine. And now we have to know why are we not able to see the divinity in all and us. So the example Shankaracharya gives in his commentaries earlier is like cataract, prohibits our vision or blocks our vision and does not allow us to see what is there right in front of us, creates doubts and makes us take wrong decisions. Three things it does. It does not make us see properly. It creates doubts about what we are seeing. And then based on this ignorance, it makes us take wrong decisions. It's like cataract. So though things are present, though we are divine, we are unable to realize and see it only because of some shortcomings in us. Something in us is not working out to help us realize divinity. But you said, everything is divine. Yes, even the cataract is formed out of the same body. But it covers the eye which needs to see things. So like that, this ignorance also is Prakriti, which is born within the Paramatma only. But it is different from the purest nature of Paramatma. Like cataract is also nothing but our own cells, our own tissue. Yet it is born out of us and blocks our own vision. It's not coming from outside. So that is also divinity. However, it is blocking the ultimate understanding and realization of divinity. Therefore, we need to get rid of it. So this ignorance that we are Prakriti and we are not Purushottama, and that we are unable to realize that divinity is the cause of all the ignorance and all the wrong decisions we make in life. And how to make right decisions? What stops us from making right decisions? Certain qualities within us. We earlier learned some gunas are there, which make us do whatever we do. Tamoguna makes us lazy, lethargic, disinterested in good things, higher things, and makes us behave like matter or animals at best. Whereas Rajoguna, it is driven by passion, action, desires, sense of ambition, wanting to achieve. All these things are part of Rajoguna, which makes us active, and then we run pillar to post to fulfill our desires by action. Sometimes good actions, sometimes bad actions. Sometimes good desires, sometimes bad desires. Then there is Sattva Guna, which is purest essence of the divinity within us. This is the closest to our divine self. And that gives us right inspiration, right ideas, right understanding of things, because it is born out of the divine wisdom. And only when we transcend all the three gunas, that is when we become Purushottama. So this is the idea of work so far. And naturally the question next is, why are we not able to realize the divinity? How to transcend these gunas? What is that cataract in us which is not letting us see things as they are? So in the last chapter, Sri Krishna concludes, Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam mayanagha etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. This is the ultimate secret I am telling you, a secret that is hiding in plain sight. You are divine and you are unable to realize, and everybody else also is divine. And I am explaining to you that this ultimate divinity is your truth. Everything else is falsehood. And understand this, you are sinless, Arjuna, you are very pure in your heart. Therefore, I am even trying to explain it to you. Etad buddhva. Understand this completely, and buddhiman syat, become the man of discrimination and intelligence through this knowledge. And then what happens to you? Kritakrityascha bharata. All that needs to be done, achieved in this world would be achieved and done. There is nothing else left, no more desires to be fulfilled, so you will not be running, you will not be working the way you are doing right now. You are satisfied, you are done with all that you need to do. So now Arjuna needs to fight the war or not is the next question, because it seems like he is done with whatever he needed to do. No, he needs to fight the war, but without the attitude of any doership, without the attitude of enjoyership. Ashtavakra says, Yasyantam syatahankaro na karoti karoti saha nirahankarasya dhirena na kinchit akritam kritam. The one who has ego, he alone has doership and enjoyership. The one who has no ego, even if he does something, he does not do. Or rather you say, there is nothing that he does or there is nothing that he does not do. Again, paradoxes means we are talking about spiritual truths. So the one who has ego only has the problem of, even if he doesn't do anything, he's still doing something. Even if you're sleeping, saying, I am not doing anything, no, your tamoguna is making you sleep. So you are still the doer and the enjoyer of that sleep. And you think you are not doing anything, but you are doing at that point in time. Whereas somebody who is full of activity, but he has realized the self, he has no ego, despite doing anything, he is not the doer, he is not the enjoyer. So that is Kritakrityascha Bharata. This idea of doership, enjoyership will disappear. You will simply become an instrument of the divine, and divine does everything through you. Now with that we come to the other chapter, the next chapter, which is Daivasura-Sampad-Vibhaga Yoga. So Daiva means divinity or God, godly. And Asura, no need to explain. We have experienced it all the time, inside, outside. Asuras are non-divine qualities or demonic qualities. So Daivasura-Sampada, what are the qualities? Sampada means pada, that state, how a divinity or divine being or how a godlike person is. What does he possess? What are his properties? What are his qualities? And what are the qualities of a demonic natured person? This is the yoga. And I'm sure we all know all of this because there is a little divine in us. Actually, all of us are divine, but it is covered by the cataract of some negative demonic qualities. So we will go through that. Before I go to that chapter, I wanted to tell this story last time, but I thought I'll tell you now. There is a story in Chandogya Upanishad. This itself will set the context about what kind of people are divine and what kind of people are demonic. So in Chandogya Upanishad, the 8th chapter story comes where Brahma Prajapati, the creator, in his own quote, like Premamurtham, he declares to everybody about the nature of the self, the Purushottama, the ultimate, primordial, purest, conscious self. So about that he says that this self is sinless, ageless. This self has no sorrow, no death. This self is has no hunger, no thirst. And this self is the one which needs to be sought after, because that is the truth that one needs to know. And the one who comes to know of this self, all his desires are fulfilled and he wins over all the worlds. This is how he says it. It means what? He is speaking in, as I said, in crypto way, cryptic. He's not going to tell things in an elaborate way. He is telling it in a nice, sweet, short way. And he says this is the ultimate truth of everyone. And the one who knows this truth, his all desires will be fulfilled and he can win over all the worlds. Now if you listen to that, you get very excited, because you'll think, oh, all my desires will be fulfilled. It means tomorrow I want to travel to another country, I want to have a big holiday, I want to have a lot of money, I want to become topmost man in my country. Is that all possible if I know the self? You will, or somebody worldly will interpret it like this. But the idea is that he has no desires left to be fulfilled. That is the idea once he knows the self. There is no further craving for anything. Therefore, all his desires are fulfilled, is said. And also he says he will win over everywhere, every world, all the worlds. What are the worlds that we know of? Our waking state, our dreaming state, and our deep sleep state. Jagrati, Swapna and Sushupti. The self which governs all the three, he will come to know of it, and thereby he will not get distracted or disillusioned by the various states of existence. When we are wakeful, we think we are the body. When we are in dream state, we are the mind. When we are deep sleep state, we are the ignorance. But beyond that is the consciousness, witness, which is the truth. So once who knows that, knows all the worlds, it means he is not driven by his gunas which make him tamo guna or rajo guna or sattva guna. He has conquered it all. That is the conquest our Prajapati is talking about. But being what they are, the demons thought, oh, this is something we must get hold of. Because once we know this, we will win over every world, we will win over the gods. Because all the time there is a fight happening between gods and demons. And we will also be able to attain all our desires will be fulfilled. So with that excitement, they, as well as the devatas, because they also need to make sure that they have all the power to control and suppress the demons. So both of them go to Prajapati Brahma. And Prajapati is busy doing his thing. So poor demon, the king of the demons, Virochana, and the king of the devas, Indra, both were sitting and waiting, doing tapas. That whenever Prajapati decides to call them, they will be called. They wait for a long time, and after that Prajapati watches them from distance and says, okay, these people have come here for something and they've been doing tapas to win my grace and win my attention. So let me call them. So he calls and asks, what is the matter? Why are you here? And they say that, you talked about the self and we want to know what is that self and how is it present. And then Prajapati says, very simple, that you see in the pupil of the eye is the self, he says. And tells them, tomorrow dress up nicely and go to a place and see your reflection in a pan of water. And see what you see that is the self. So both of them next day have a good bath and dress up nicely, ornaments and nice robes, silk robes, and then they go and see their reflection in water. And what do they see? They see their own physical reflection, from the nails to the hair to everything, all the ornaments and the dress. And that is what they say in the pupil of the eye, because through the pupil of the eye, they've seen this reflection. So they become very happy. Oh, it was so simple, we didn't know. They go back to Prajapati, and Prajapati asks, what did you find out? He said, we know now that what we saw is our reflection, from hair to toe to nails to everything. So that is the self. Prajapati, smiles about their ignorance, and he says, very well, then you may go. So both the Indra and Virochana leave the place, very happy that they have found out the truth. But what happens? Virochana reaches his demons, whatever the kingdom, and meets all the demons. They are waiting. Have you found out that power with which we can conquer everything and fulfill our desires? He said, yes, of course. This body itself is the self. We did not know. We were thinking it's some rocket science. It is only self. It is only the truth. So all demons become very happy. And now they start looking after their bodies so well. Eat, sleep, make merry. That is a khana, pina, sona. They start working on that very hard. And then kill everybody else for their fulfillment of desires. And go on nourishing and caring and loving and protecting and nurturing their body. So their whole attention goes to their body, because they think if they look after their body, they will become the most powerful people. So even today, demonic people are those who are always busy with their bodies. They want to decorate themselves. But for what purpose? Because they want to become physically strong so that they can suppress others, they can bulldoze others, they can rule over. So this idea is demonic idea. So that is what the Virochana does. And he is very happy, and all his foolish demons are quite satisfied with what they have fought, because it's quite pleasurable to do that. You're treating the body well and feeding it and giving it all the pleasures that it can experience through the senses, and they think that is how they are strengthening the self. But that's foolish thing. But Indra on the way thinks, how can it be? Because body undergoes changes and it dies also. But self by its definition is indestructible, changeless and sinless. But we commit sins using our body, we make mistakes. How can it be self? So halfway through he thinks and returns back to Prajapati. He's got a doubt. See, he's contemplative. That's why I say Shravanam, Mananam. Bina Mananam, the Shravanam alone may not be clear. So these people do Mananam, and Indra comes back at Prajapati asks him, what happened? Why you're back? He says, no, something is wrong with our understanding of this self as the body. Why? Then he explains that, see, body changes, decays, dies and all that change. But self is not supposed to change. You have taught that. So this can't be self. Prajapati becomes happy that at least one of my sons is a little intelligent, he's thinking. Parimargitavyam, he's able to discern. So he says, okay, you do tapas for 32 years, then I will call you. So for 32 years they do tapas, Indra does tapas. And after 32 years, he calls him and tells him, that which you see, that which moves in your dreams is the self. And then he becomes happy, he starts returning to his Svargaloka. But on the way, he again gets a doubt. He starts thinking, but in my dream, I see myself, I see things, but they are also perishable. And there is if we are afflicted in the dream, we are sorrow, we cry, we feel bad. There are a lot of negative and positive emotions. But this dvandva, this kind of nature is not self. It is supposed to be pure, sinless, unagitated, calm. So this can't be self, what I see in the dream. What moves around in my dream is not self. He comes back. Prajapati says, do another 32 years of tapas. So he does that. And after that he calls him and tells, we becomes 32 years, somebody says 5 years, whatever the story is there. So it means he did 108 years of total tapas to realize the truth. So after that tapas, Prajapati calls him and says, after 32 years, what is the thing that you found out? What is that self is? Indra asks, and then Prajapati explains, that which is there in your this deep sleep, that is the self. And he becomes happy saying, yes, at least it doesn't undergo changes, it doesn't undergo sadness or happiness, so this could be self. And he goes back, but on the way he thinks again. But that self is supposed to be self-luminous, self-aware, it is conscious. But in my deep sleep, I'm not even aware of anything. I'm not aware I'm a man or a woman, where I'm sitting, what am I doing? So it can't be self. So he goes back again. This time Prajapati is very kind. He says, do tapas only for 5 years, you're almost there. So he does tapas, and then he calls him and explains to him about the self as that which is embodied in this body, that indestructible principle of Atman, which is embodied in the Kshara, that is the decaying or changing body. And because it is bound to the body, it is embodied, it appears to experience joys and sorrows, but it is untouched by any of these dualities. And this way he gives him a discourse, and Indra comes to know what the self is, and he goes and shares that knowledge with Devatas. So Devatas become more powerful and capable than the demons. While demons are only fulfilling their bodily desires, Devatas focus on the truth of their existence. So this is the difference between Devatas and Asuras. Now we can make out what this chapter is going to be like. So all that which is pertaining to the body and the mind and its pleasures and all the attraction, distractions, the ambitions, these are all demonic qualities only. And only that which is contemplative on the truth. And therefore all the pure reflections or pure aspects of that contemplation which reflects in the way we think, speak and do, all that is pure divine qualities. So this is the basic premise with which this chapter is talking. So what is I will start, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, a long list of qualities. What qualities? The Daivi qualities, the good qualities. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayas Tapa Arjavam. First shloka. Abhayam, they are fearless people. They don't have any fear. Why? Where does fear come from? Wrong understanding. You see a snake in the rope and then you get scared. Wrong understanding, wrong conclusion. Avidya. That leads to fear. Then all desires lead to fear. Because avidya, kama comes, desire comes. Desires lead to fear. If desires are not fulfilled, you're afraid. It could be any desire. I want to be rich. I can't be rich. I'm afraid. I want to be loved by everybody, popular, famous. Can't be. I'm insecure. I have fear. Ultimately, I think I'm the body and I'm going to die and everything will be over with it. I'm fearful if I get a little disease. So fear is the quality of demons. But fearlessness, abhayam, it is the quality of divine beings because they know their truth. So they are fearless. That's why I say be selfless, be fearless. Unless you are selfless, you can't be fearless. If you have selfishness, you will have fear. So selflessness and fearlessness are like two sides of the same coin, the divine coin. Sattva samshuddhihi, sattva qualities, pure qualities and pure heart, samshuddhihi. Their hearts are pure. No? They yasya chittam dravi bhutam kripaya sarvajantushu. They are very kind, they are compassionate, their hearts melt at the plight and difficulties of others. They are very kind. They have no ego, no jealousy, no ill feelings towards anybody. Sattva samshuddhihi. Jnana yoga vyavasthitihi. They are always established. Yoga means connected. Vyavasthiti, in that situation. What situation? Jnana. They are always contemplating or they have already realized or in the process of realization. They are constant contemplation on the truth. They are never distracted by other aspects of worldly desires. So they are constantly contemplating. That's why last time we remember Adhyatma Nitya is one of the qualities that Krishna said. Continuously engaged in the contemplation or the efforts to realize the truth. Danam, they are very charitable in nature. They are not selfish, so naturally they don't hoard anything. Aparigraha, we have one of the qualities. So they don't steal, they don't hoard, they don't hide. They think everything belongs to everyone. I'm just custodian. So Danam is a natural property. They just do Danam because there is a need there which is greater than my need. I told you earlier also, if somebody's need is greater than yours, he is the rightful owner of everything. You are not the owner. Though you have it, though you have earned it, yet you are not the owner because the need is the reason why something belongs to somebody. Tena tyaktena bunjita mahagrudha kasya svidhanam Ishavasya Upanishad says. Don't take another man's wealth. What is another man's wealth, another person's wealth? That which the need of which is greater for that person. I may have plenty of food, but I don't need to eat it. I am not hungry. But somebody is more hungry, then he or she is the rightful owner of the food that I have in my control. Like that wealth, like that knowledge, like that power, like that position, everything you can think of. So Dhanam is a very natural quality. They don't hide. Damascha, they have control over their senses. Shama, Dama, ityadi, we say other Shat Sampat is also there. Our Shankaracharya says. Shama, Dama, Uparati, Tiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. This is the sixth property Shankaracharya says are basic prerequisites for self-realization. In that Dhamma, control on the senses. Paranchikani, Vatnat, Swayambhu, Tasmat, we know all that from Kathopanishad. Senses are created in an outgoing way. They see something, they get attracted, they run towards it. They want to hear, they want to taste, they want to touch, smell, experience, so they run outwards. But these people are able to withdraw them and these people are able to keep them in the check. Now, only use it to the extent that it is noble and virtuous. Not for ill reasons, not for bad reasons. They have that control over them. Dhamma. That is very important. Our Shankaracharya and Viveka Chudamani very beautiful says, 5 senses we have. We are very difficult to control these 5 senses. And then he says, Shabdadibhi panchabhireva pancha panchatva mapu svagunena baddha kuranga matanga patanga meena bhringa nara panchabhiranchita kim. He says, every of these creatures are bound by their own sense which is prominent in them, the sense organ or the guna. Like Kuranga. What is Kuranga? Kuranga is deer. So deer is bound by the sense of Shabda, ears. When it hears a sound, it runs towards it and then the hunter catches the deer. It makes some rustling sound of the leaves and deer is attracted, it goes there and gets caught in the net. So that is Kuranga. Just by hearing, he gets into trouble. Matanga, elephant. His weakness is touch. You know how they catch big male elephants. Kuranga you can catch and bring home. But Matanga, how do you bring the elephant, big one? So they send a female elephant into the forest. Then female elephant goes and gently touches the male elephant. He loses his memory and discrimination and follows the female all the way. She has been trained. Honey trap. She has been trained to bring the big elephant back to the hunter's place. So this male elephant follows the female and comes to his own ruin, and whole life he slogs after that because of that touch. So one touch makes the elephant lose his discrimination. Patanga. Patanga is the fire, these flies, they know that if they go towards the lamp and fall in the flame, they'll die. Yet they're attracted by the sight, they can't keep quiet. They rush towards it. So by the virtue of their sight, just one indriya, they are ruined. And I see so many of these flies, especially in these times, after rainy season, you should see how many flies. They all are born, they run towards the fire flame and then they get burnt and die. Morning there's a pile of them. So he's not able to control, knows it to be destructive, but still goes. Mahatanga, patanga, meena, fish, taste. How do they catch fish? In the fish hook, they put a small worm. And then the fish sees the worm and doesn't see the hook behind it. Goes to eat the worm and gets caught. So taste, one sense of taste kills the fish. Bringa. Bringa is bee, bumblebee or honeybee, whichever bee. What is this problem? Smell. It smells the fragrance of the flowers. It wants to go and experience that, and it swoons inside the flower. Flower closes, the bee dies. So these 5 die because of just one sense organ which they cannot control. Dhamma. No dhamma in there. But human beings have all the 5. We can get ruined by any of these. We have 5 times more chances of getting ruined. So Shankaracharya laments, Nara panchabhiranchitakim, what is the fate of man or humans who are bound by all the 5 senses? When these creatures are dead, they kill themselves, get destroyed by just one sense organ. So Dhamma is so important. If you not have control over your senses, what to see, what to hear, taste, smell and touch, we are ruined. Yajñascha, they are yajña parayata. Yajna means a sense of sacrifice. Yajñat karma samudbhavaha, it is said. All actions should be done as a sacrifice to the divine. Not for my sake, not for my selfish sake. To please the divine, to offer it to divine. Naturally, when you want to offer something to divine, it will have to be purest, of good quality. So naturally, all your actions will become pure. So yajñaha, swadhyaya, they are very rooted in self-study. Swa-adhyaya, it could be studying a scripture. Also swa-adhyaya, studying your own self. Contemplating on who you are. So Swadhyaya is one of their activity. Constantly they contemplate. Naham, just like our Nirvana Shatkam. I'm not Buddhi, Mana, Chitta, Hankara. I'm not the Indriyas. I'm not this, I'm not. I'm only the Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. So this Swadhyaya, Tapa. Tapa means constant yearning to realize the truth. Somebody asked me, once you say that somebody should be eager to realize the truth and not wait. Another side you say that you should have the patience to realize the self. Both seems to be opposite. I said, yes, both are not opposite, they are complementary. Put all your efforts, be ready to realize the self. But when that self-realization comes, that is divine will, please wait for it to happen at the right time. When you are ready, it will happen to you. So both are not opposite, both are complementary. Tapa means a burning desire. Our Tripura Rahasya says like a man who is on fire, whose hair has caught fire. How will that person? You tell him, come, let us watch some movie. No, first find me water. I want to jump into a pool and cool myself because I'm on fire. So that is tapa, that feeling of restlessness to realize. Then arjavam, straightforwardness, no crooked talks, no hypocrisy, no one thing for the other. Mana, their manasekam, vachasekam, karmanyekam. Integrity of thought, word and deed is arjavam. Ahimsa, they are non-violent. Why? Because they see God in everything and everyone. How can I destroy something or someone? Because I see divine in all. How could I harm anybody? And that is to creatures or trees or earth or water or environment, everything. Ahimsa is everything, all the aspects in which you do not destroy. And we have studied how many types of ahimsa there, remember? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, 81 types of ahimsas are there. Or rather 81 types of himsas are there, so opposite is 81 types of ahimsa. So then Satya, Satyam, they are always truthful. They don't lie. They don't tell one thing for the other. As I said, lying is not merely about not telling the truth. Telling the truth in a distorted way is also lying only. So you should tell the truth as it is, but you should tell it sweetly. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam. Tell the truth, but tell it sweetly. Don't tell the truth which is not nice, not pleasant. The king's son was born. He called everybody and said, tell the fate of my son. All Jyotishas said, your son is going to die very soon. He's a short-lived fellow. After so many years, the son was born and king was very upset. He put them all in jail. So next, only one Jyotishi was left, astrologer. That astrologer thought, if I tell the same thing, I'll also be put in jail. So he came and he cleverly said, your son has brought you great fate and great fortune. What is that? He says, your son has brought you the blessing that you will live longer than your son. Oh, wonderful. He gives him prizes and presents and sends him back. Satya. Yet told in a pleasant way. So this is how Satya has to be told. In a nice way. Akrodha. They don't get angry. They have the patience not to get angry. Unreasonable anger is what? I didn't get what I wanted, therefore I get angry. I didn't get the respect, I didn't get the authority, I didn't get obeyed by somebody, I'm angry. No, anger can be used as a tool for correction. Sometimes you have to raise your voice. Sometimes children don't listen. So a little bit sometimes you have to raise the tone of this. But that anger should not be hatred type of anger. It is an anger which is corrective, which is also born out of love only, another form of love. Rain and the hailstorm, both are water only. But hailstorm hurts. Rain only is soothing. So likewise, but sometimes you have to do that. Krodha, Tyaga, they are sacrificing in nature. They always think, what can I do for others? And if you have one chapati and there are 2 hungry people, they are ready to divide it by 2 and eat half. And if there are 4, they divide it by 4 and have a quarter. But they try to accommodate everybody. Where 1 can sleep, 2 can sit. Where 2 can sit, 3 can stand. Let us all be sheltered. This is their idea of Tyaga. Tyage nahi ki amritatva manasho. Through sacrifice alone, immortality is attained, they say. Shantihi, they are always peaceful, of peaceful demeanor. You can't disturb their peace because they are reveling in themselves, Atma Krida, Atma Rati. They are always happy within themselves. You can't disturb their peace. Even if they look like disturbed, that is only a temporary shake and they are always generally steady. So you have to check all these qualities, how much of it we are manifesting and to what intensity. Shanti, Apaishunam. Apaishunam means not finding fault and with others all the time or with situations or things. They have this sense of acceptance for things. They don't go on complaining about everything. Ye acha nahi, wo nahi, this is not, those people are like that. They're always finding fault. Some people are, their whole job is to find fault. The Kabirdas says, dosha parai dekh ke chala hasant hasant, apne yaad na avai jinka adi na ant. Kabirdas says. Seeing others' fault, you are laughing at them and going on counting their faults. You are not able to see your own fault which has no beginning and no end. This is the issue with people who have this habit of Paishuna. So Apaishuna means those who are not finding faults with others. If at all, point a finger, as I said, 3 fingers point towards you, that is their attitude. Let me see what's wrong with me. So they are also positive in terms of taking feedback. If somebody else finds a fault, they take it positively and try to improve. Daya, compassion, Bhuteshu, for all beings, for animals, plants, birds, beasts, everybody, human beings, even to enemies they show daya. Rama has showing compassion even to his enemy Ravana. So that is the quality of these divine beings. Aloluptvam, no greed. Greed is what I need to eat, what I need to eat, I will eat. But my need should not be satisfied by harming somebody or taking more than what I need. I call it those who only take and don't give at all. They are all rogis. They only take, they don't want to give anything to anyone. Then those who take only as much as they give, or they give as much only as they take. They don't want to give more than that. They are the people, I call them as bogis. They take and give only that much. Beyond that, they do not want to talk about it like that. Then they are socialists, I call them, because they are only want everybody to get only so much. Then there are those who give more and take less. They are tyagis. I call them minimalists. With minimal, they want to survive. They don't want to take more than what their need is. And the fourth one are yogis. They only give. They don't take in return. They are spiritualists. They always give. Anything they have, they will give it. No, they won't think twice. What about you? If I have done the right thing, God will look after me. That is the idea. The one who has provided for me today, he'll provide for me tomorrow also. That is the idea of yogis. So he is talking about this. They have this aloluptam. They don't have any greed. They always want to give. Mardhavam, very gentle in their demeanor. No rudeness, no harshness. Very gentle. No shouting, yelling, and using rude words and harsh words. They always are sweet demeanored people. He humble, because humility is a hallmark of greatness. All great beings are humble. Anybody who is egoistic, you know that person has no spiritual bent of mind. And why humble? Because who am I after all in this huge big creation? What am I? I can't even control my own body. I can't control my own heart. I can't control my own digestion. I can't control my own circulation, respiration. All this is done by somebody. So I am able to do what I am able to do. I may become an engineer. I have not created these 5 elements. I may become a doctor. I have not created the life. I may become an agriculturalist. I have not created the earth, water, seed, whatever. I may become a teacher, but I have not created the knowledge. So this humility is always the hallmark of great people. Achapalam, they are unwavering. Chapalatvam means always fickle-minded. Some people are so restless in they can't sit in one place. Their leg, hand, something will be shaking all the time. If they will not at rest, and they will not allow anybody also to be at peace. They'll go and disturb them also. But these people are not like that. They're achapalam. They're very steady and restful in their body as well as in the mind, emotions and everything. Steadiness is there. Tejaha shamadhati shaucham adroho natimanita. Tejaha, virtuous splendor. When you do good things, your body shines when your character is fine, I say. When you are a very good person, your face shows it. The teja, kind of a splendor, kind of a spiritual virtues that they carry, that makes them glow. So there is a glow on their face. Also teja could also mean the spiritual enlightenment that they carry. They also bring that enlightenment to others. If you have light only, you can throw light on others. So they kind of remove the darkness from others' lives also by their mere presence, their teja. Kshama, forbearance, like earth. They bear it. Tantitikshasva Bharata, he says. Krishna, bear it. It's okay, don't complain, don't cry. Sometimes in life things happen this way. Bear it, bear it. So they have the capacity to bear. They can bear insults, they can bear failures. Also they can bear praise. Bearing praise is also important with the right attitude. So Shama, Dhrutihi, determination. They don't give up easily. Come what may, whatever difficulties. Ultimately till they realize it, they don't leave it. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavara Nibhota, Shurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya Durgam Patastat Kavayo Vadanti, says Kathopanishad. It is a difficult path, like walking on the razor's edge. Yet walk and don't give up. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached, Vivekananda. And learn from those who know, Nibodhata. And till you learn it, till you realize it, don't give up. This is the idea, Dhartihi. Shaucham, cleanliness. Both outside and inside cleanliness. Their surroundings are clean, their minds are clean, their habits are clean, their thinking is clean, their words are clean. In every aspect they demonstrate cleanliness. That's why he said cleanliness is next to godliness. Adroho, they have no anger, hatred, jealousy, envy for anybody. No, somebody is having something, they don't cheat people, they don't harm people for their sake. And they don't carry jealousy. He's growing or she's growing, she got more marks, he got no jealousy. I did my best, whatever I got, I'm happy with it. They don't become envious and then start doing wrong things. Natimanita, they don't have ego. Atimanita means they think too much of themselves. Some people are there. If they are in the room, the only talk in the room will be what they have achieved, what they have done, what they are going to do next, how much they think. Everything will be about themselves. The whole world self-centered to the core. Think too much, high opinion about themselves. Atimanita. Mana means opinion, high opinion is Athimanita. They think too much of themselves. They don't consider anything around them. They think they are the most superior. You might find some of them around. Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. These are the divine qualities which ensue from the divine beings, which are born of divine nature. So these are the qualities that you must have to be a divine being, Bharata. Bharata again, Bha means wisdom, Rata means the who revels or enjoys the wisdom. So Arjuna is enjoying this talk with great attention, like all of you are listening to me. So the Arjuna is listening to Krishna. That's why Krishna uses different names for Arjuna at different times. But every name has a meaning. And Bharata is because he's teaching him truth and knowledge, and Arjuna is enjoying it, so Bharata.